Vivieron.
What's the deal, y'all?
What's good?
What up, though?
It's your girl, the Caribbean Chocolate, Jocelyn Navarro.
Good. It's the one that makes my life.
Now somebody hit my music.
I'm contemplating and chasing, handling biz right now. We never waiting and patient, jumping at the crib right now. Put up my label, we make it stay legit right now. Could call the doctor, we operating, they sick, we sit right.
Hey, you know what's going on? It's Dallas Cash, Dallas CAS to the 8th letter, and every day that you hate it just makes the day better. Representing Marks with Mikes, and I am not alone. I am also with El Jefe. Some people may call him La Chupacabra. Some people may call him Mr. Get That Shit Out of My Face. So, so we got we got the Cleveland Cavalier himself, the Guardian, Mr. Catch Me Outside. We got 216 El Rich.
Yo, what's going on in Chicha La Casa?
Chicha La Casa. El
Damn, a chupacabra, bro. That shit sound wild, bro. You say it in English.
What, La Chupacabra?
Yeah.
No.
Goat sucker. You know how crazy that sounds? A goat sucker. Like, Jesus Christ. Yo, man.
I'm so wrong. I thought it meant monster, but I guess it didn't mean that. Okay.
Well, that was the way they put them, but just saying it like a chupacabra is like, you know, a goat sucker. But man, we back again, another week, you know. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
We good. Unfortunately, you know, some events to happen throughout the week. So, well, let us know.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously we are without Mr. 6'9" JT, and that is for a reason. JT works extremely hard. And JT always puts on for the show. Not just our show, he puts on for every show within CCN, and he actually suffered 2 losses this week and last week as well. So we thought it would be in best interest if he didn't come to the show, just so he could go ahead and clear his head. But me and Cheech wanted to go ahead and pay tribute real quick. Want to send a big rest in peace, prayers up, and condolences out to his family. Xavier Poole and Jeanette Edmonds. Well, I want to go ahead, and at this time, I'm going to pull myself off the panel and Cheech, and we're just going to have a moment of silence and remember it. Thank you. All right. Yo, big, like I said, shout out to JT. Love you. We here for you. If you need anything, we here. Big prayers up. All right, we got a little bit to talk about today. Obviously, we want to get into some not too much rumors and news, just because I don't really feel like a lot happened. There was a lot of BS that went on, but one of the main things that we wanted to talk about that Cheech brought up that is extremely important was Netflix decided to refuse to raise the bid for Warner Brothers after Paramount made a superior bid. So Paramount is more than likely going to acquire Warner Brothers. So Cheech, I got to ask you, what do you think this means for like AEW or like the future of Warner Brothers going forward?
I think they at least they still somewhat have to do with the TKO. You know what I mean? Because Paramount, they got UFC over there. Are they gonna branch it off? I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Because this game is vicious, but it's content. That's what streaming services want. So I think AEW is in a position to to get that bag, and now also the wrestlers, due to AEW, now WWE gotta up the ante with the money. You know what I mean? So now everybody's gonna, work hard, and once they get there, they're gonna get paid. But
I thought Netflix was going to up the poll on the bid, but I guess not. So, like, the way that I look at it is whatever Paramount has up their sleeve, considering with the stuff they got going on with UFC, and then considering whatever they have going forward, this is no longer a bidding war since Netflix has pulled out. And I think it's probably a much right. I think it's probably a much deeper conversation down the line, because there's definitely some hickory dickory trickery going on.
Yeah. Not mind you, the people behind Paramount, if you do go down the rabbit hole, connected, and you know what I mean? There's some people over there. So but anyway, we ain't gonna go there. So what else do we have, boy?
So AJ Styles, obviously, AJ Styles did announce his retirement. More on that later, but he did sign a new contract with WWE. Basically going to be helping the talent, which we kind of all said that AJ Styles, much like Mark Henry, eye for talent, great talent scout. And I would love to see Abyss and AJ work as match producers, main roster, or if AJ feels NXT is a better fit for him, whatever benefits his family. But new contract, what do you think it's going to entail that his role is?
Man, he does have an eye for talent, like you said. Let's bring this guy up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember this guy?
Yeah. Consequences Creed.
Consequences Creed. My man made it to TNA, due to AJ Styles' wife. You know what I mean? That suggested it, and we wouldn't have a New Day if it wasn't for AJ Styles. But isn't his name Styles? So he's gonna bring a style. He's gonna show you, and he looked like he got the patience. You know what I mean? And that's what you need for this new crowd that actually grew up on him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you got Shawn Michaels over here. You got AJ Styles over here. You got Undertaker and TNA. I mean, and AAA. They're everywhere. It just good, like he said. He beat the house. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to, go out with an injury. So it's.
Yeah, and I think right now what we want to see more is just a lot of these wrestlers who are retiring. They're going to be more and more prominent roles. Obviously, think about Jason Jordan, Chris Parker, Tyson Kidd. Like it's getting to the point where the producers are going to be full of past wrestlers who were Hall of Fame talent or had great stints all over different territories. So we got a lot to cover, but we're going to try to get it done in a short amount of time. And because me and Cheech are pretty much no nonsense, we pretty much cut the fluff and get straight to it. So
take it to camp.
So obviously you see what kind of shirt he has on, obviously the CM Punk shirt. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what Saturday is. Saturday is Elimination Chamber, which will be held in Chicago at the Allstate Arena, Rosemont.
No. United.
United Center.
That's the thing. Remember, this is the first time like in 30 years, I believe.
So my question is, actually, I don't have any questions. You know what? I don't have any questions. I think we should just jump straight into the matches. Let's just jump straight into the matches. So
let me see.
Do you want to handle it or do you want me to do it?
No. Damn, I don't know if it was here. I think I put it. Maybe it's not there.
You want to jump back to him?
You could have yeah. My bad. JT's picks.
Oh, I have him. Yeah. Did you pull it? Did you put it here?
No,
I have
it. It was on the notes. So I
thought. Was it in the notes? Okay. Well, if not, we have it on our phone, so we'll just go with that. And we're gonna run the show a certain way, so we just gonna cut the fat. All right, let's start with the first match. I don't know. We're just going in. We're not going in order. I don't know if it's gonna be this way, but let's get this match out of the way. We're gonna start with the Women's Intercontinental Championship, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. So, Cheech, I'm actually gonna go ahead and pass this to you, and then I'll go after you.
Oh Lord. The hometown girl. I don't know the last time she wrestled in front of the home crowd. You know they're gonna. That's so. I mean, I like how you picked that. I like how you think it because it's a better way that that you could start a show with that pop. So I see AJ Lee winning just for kicks and giggles, and maybe Becky Lynch move to something else. There's let's say somebody with a hood going around. You know what I mean? So that gives you more like the thinking, make you say, But yeah, it's gonna be awesome seeing AJ Lee pop up in Shot-Town with the crowd, clamoring the hometown girl.
Now I checked JT's pick, and JT has Becky Lynch retaining.
He got Becky.
Yeah, he's got Becky retaining.
Okay.
Not a bad way to go. It's a good way to get heat on Becky in AJ's second hometown. That being obviously she's a Jersey girl, and I find it weird that they announced her as the hometown girl. Like she grew up in Jersey, so like she isn't really from Chicago. She's just whatever. So I actually got AJ Lee winning as well because I feel like this is the right way to culminate the feud. I wouldn't mind a short title reign with AJ and Becky Lynch, and they're passing the title back and forth. But I kind of do want to see AJ Lee and Bayley at WrestleMania. I still want to see that for the Intercontinental title. I still think that's going to be eventually the move, if not going forward later down the line and maybe a SummerSlam. So I got AJ Lee winning. You got AJ Lee winning. JT has Becky Lynch retaining. Well, let's stay on the wave. Let's go with the Women's Elimination Chamber. And I'd actually like to kick this one off. So we have Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Tiffany Stratton, Raquel Rodriguez, Kiana James, and Asuka. So you have to think out of all of these women, there has to be one who poses a threat to Jade Cargill that will help elevate her. And since I didn't watch the qualifiers because I've been away from wrestling, Cheech let me, because I thought Charlotte was in it, but Cheech let me know that Charlotte did not make it. So it shows that Cheech is all, whenever I need reference, I go to Cheech. He watches everything. So I actually got Rhea winning this, and I know people don't want that to happen, but she's clearly the biggest star in the chamber, biggest star in the company, biggest star in the women's division. She consistently gets Austin level pops, period. And it is what it is. So if you want Jade to have a legitimate threat for her title, Rhea Ripley needs to be the pick. Cheech, I'm gonna pass it.
You pretty much said some of what I was thinking, but it's just a no miss by going with Rhea Ripley. I'm sorry, her with a tag team. No, bro, you're doing a disservice to the girl. You know what I mean? She should be in that picture of with the championship. And don't get me wrong. Charlotte Flair going into WrestleMania against Jade Cargill, that was gonna, break the internet. Because I don't know if you've seen that first
First encounter.
face off,
Mhm.
it got some numbers in that video. You know what I mean? So that means that people fucking with that
Right.
But unfortunately, they went another route. To me, it's the safe bet. It will be Rhea Ripley. I believe JT got la mera Raquel.
That would also cook, because then if Stephanie loses and then Raquel goes on and beats Jade Cargill, that means both women titles are in the Judgment Day, which is cool, but that's an unrealistic outcome.
Well, and I guess that's the way, you know what I mean? You do break them apart and everybody go their separate ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she deserved it, you know what I mean? Raquel pulled that off.
Money in the Bank. Raquel wins Money in the Bank, cashes in on Liv. We could get something like that. All right. So Cheech, your pick was Rhea?
Yes, sir. I'm going
My
with
pick
Rhea.
was Rhea, and JT went with Raquel. Okay, let's move on. Actually, we'll save that one for last. So we're going to go on with the men's Elimination Chamber match, and we have Yeet Man, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, that boy Bouncy, Javon Evans, Mr. Lemon Pepper Steppers, Trick Williams, the Viper, Randy Orton, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and the megastar himself, L.A. Knight. Yeah.
You see how dope Javon Evans, right? Straight center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it. And he fits right in with the aesthetic of the Elimination Chamber. So I think I'm getting Kofi Kingston vibes in the
2.0.
2.0.
Yes, I see it.
I see it. I see an OG cutter, maybe from the top of the pod, or him at least diving from the top of the pod onto some people. I just see it happening. I don't know it's going to happen. But you had a very interesting pick, and I'd like you to tell everybody who your pick was, because I actually believe that this would be possible.
I lost track. What match?
Men's Elimination Chamber.
Oh, the men's. Even though, you know what I mean, ever since they came out with the promos for Vegas WrestleMania, one of the things that, remember when I said Triple A said is, what is it, that anyone's game?
Yes, anyone's game. Yeah, it's anybody's game.
And who'd be saying that?
LA Knight.
So, you know what I mean? Like, going by that, it's like, ooh, I like to. But, man, can you imagine this one? Oh. Like, me personally, hearing everybody, you know what I mean? Like, knowing that he's going to be going into WrestleMania. It's fire. But I don't know if they're going to pull it off, because my man is witty with it.
And he just got here, but strike while the iron is hot. You feel me?
That too.
Because he's the most popular, he's the most over person in that match. What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? And I feel bad, because part of me wants Trick Williams to win, but I personally think that Trick has a lot of time on the main roster, and he'll probably be main eventing probably within the next year or two at the most. But I got LA Knight winning this one, because LA Knight, it's time. It's been long overdue. I don't want to see Cody and Drew. I don't want to see Randy Orton and Drew. I don't want to see anybody else but LA Knight in this match. So my pick, LA Knight. Cheech picked Trick Williams, and then I think JT, LA Knight too. LA Knight as well. Excellent. All right. So then we're going to move on to our final match, which, I mean, this is pretty much a no-brainer. But we have the World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Now, what could make this interesting is if the Demon shows up in this match. However, I don't think that is going to happen, but it would give it a heightened sense of security, and it would make the match a lot more unpredictable, because if it's just Finn Balor, then it's like, okay, yeah, Punk's going to get this. But if it's the Demon Finn Balor, I don't know. Not saying that it would happen, but it would be very interesting. I still got CM Punk winning this match because Punk and Roman is the money match. But I personally feel like whatever they're going to do with Finn Balor going forward, you have LA Knight, you have Balor. These guys are in their mid-40s. Damian Priest, all these people. There's not a lot of World Heavyweight Championships to go around for them. So do you think Balor or LA Knight is going to be the one to get a championship, a World Championship first this year?
Oh, man. That's a crazy one. I'm gonna have to go with LA Knight. Will be the first one to get a belt. Than Finn Balor, but I don't think they got the balls to pull it off. Even though they did it that year with Rhea Ripley, that came out of nowhere. Oh wait,
right.
What? We going to wrestle? What's happening? But I don't know what they got in plans. But CM Punk against Roman Reigns without the belt, I don't respect you. It's just about respect. Hey, I think they might even go that route, but it doesn't look right for the main event of WrestleMania for the belt not to be involved. Even though I might be wrong. It might happen already before. Am I wrong? I'm gonna give it to you. I believe Lawrence Taylor against Bam Bam Bigelow. Wasn't that the main event?
Dog, don't even remind me. That was the main dog. Oh my God. WrestleMania 11, the worst WrestleMania of all time. It beat 9 by a slim margin, by a frog hair, but it has and WrestleMania 9 had a worse main event because.
And what was it at WrestleMania 9?
WrestleMania 9 was at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, but it took place in the parking lot. It took place in the parking lot, and the main event, the second main event, was Hogan versus Yokozuna, which was like a 9-second match.
Yeah, it was Bret Hart telling him, go, go, go. That was horrible.
That was horrible. But WrestleMania 11 was the drizzling shits. Like, 9 was shit. WrestleMania 11 is the worst WrestleMania. It might even be worse than 27. 27 was bad, but there was at least one match that saved the whole show, and that was Undertaker and Triple H. So that kind of invalidates its claim. But 11 is the worst WrestleMania of all time. All right. We moved on from that. Oh, by the way, what do you think is in the box?
My God. You heard that song? In the box? Dude, to be honest, I don't know. I just don't see somebody being there. Of course, I heard about the Danhausens. JT believes it could be Danhausen. I wouldn't be opposed to it because, like I say, he's cool with Phil. Phil might have put a word. To be honest, I don't have a clue. You know what I mean? And I like it like that. You know what I mean? I know it's not the Goblin Cougar, Goblin Gobbler or whatever the fuck.
I don't know what could be in that box, but I'm gonna go say possibly Danhausen, but somewhere Jim Cornette is fucking gonna be busting his chops because remember what he said: if it comes out of a box, it's instantly over. So the Cornette ideal is definitely on the way. All right.
I don't.
All right. Speaking of which, let's move on. So we talked about Elimination Chamber. Obviously, let's move on to Raw and just kind of get this out of the way. So Monday Night Raw was really, really good Raw for the most part. Aside from Natty and Maxine Dupree, which I don't know where they're going with this, because that match was just a throwaway. I think it was like a 2-minute, 3-minute match, and it just went nowhere. But obviously, Natty is punishing Maxine Dupree. What are your thoughts on this?
We wanted Natty, we got Natty, but not in this position. I don't know what they seeing. I'm sorry, Maxine or whatever the hell, LA Knight's sister. No, but she's it doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean? But
doesn't work for you, brother.
It doesn't do it for me, brother. But if we have to get here to get Natty, I guess I'll look the other way. You know, but they need to move from that like yesterday. You know what I mean?
And also, we had a Elimination Chamber qualifier match. Obviously, Jey Uso versus the original El Grande Americano and Bronson Reed. And it looks like Bronson Reed got injured again. And per JT, he thinks it just might be the voodoo curse of Papa Shango. The Vision is cursed. Seth Rollins, injured. Bronson Reed, injured. Braun Breaker, injured. At this point, the Vision is no longer a faction. It is a tag team in recovery mode.
Yeah.
You have Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Paul Heyman. This team would have never went anywhere in any year. So at this point, they need to win the tag team championships to make this faction feel like anything. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Once I saw that, you know, a good brother got father. You know, it's like showing JT that it could be that, you know what I mean? Because I remember the Ultimate Warrior fucking coffee coming up his head. You know, Papa Chango curse is real. But the Vision, bro, they were snake bit from the get-go. You know, it seems like it looked good on paper, but unfortunately, man, the injuries was against them. And yeah, it doesn't look good, you know. Can they do something crazy in WrestleMania to salvage that? Yeah, what is it? You know, we have heard from bringing Bad Bunny, which if you look, what up, girl?
Tech Russell Mommy. Hey, watch Tasty Talks and the Mimi Morning Show.
Bad Bunny don't have nothing going in April. You know what I mean? That could be something that they could put him with Seth Rollins and against Logan Paul and you know, Austin Theory. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be like a distraction. You know what I mean? But it's fucked up because you know who was supposed to win that triple threat? That was Bronson.
That would have Bronson Reed all over it.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because it's like, man, he just was out. He came back out. You know what I mean? And
right,
it sucks. You know what I mean? It sucks for him, man.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and speed run through this a little bit. So, Liv Morgan obviously chose a WrestleMania opponent. To no one's surprise, she chose La Primera Stephanie Vakir. So, Liv and Stephanie are set for Mania. Cheech, what are your thoughts on that?
Man, it's gonna be a banger. You know, that's for sure. You know, but I think Liv is coming back to get, you know, the belt. You know, it's crazy to see her how far she had come. You know, I remember her and Mandy. I was gonna say Mandy Moore. Like what was her name? Mandy
Rose. Mandy Rose.
Was it? Fuck.
She was. Liv was in the Riot Squad.
Yeah, but I'm saying like the other one that was the champion NXT, and then she left them.
Mandy Rose.
Yeah, her. But like I remember both of them, they started coming up, you know, I mean, kind of together and similarities or whatever. But I didn't expect for Liv to be where she's at right now. You know, so yeah.
All right, yeah. So, all right, moving on from that, we had Javon Evans versus Kofi Kingston. Really good match. Javon beating a former world champion. Also, Offset was in the crowd. Yeah, pretty much. Offset was in the crowd, which again, really don't care about they were in Atlanta. They had to do what needed to be done and, whatever, make it pop. Raquel Rodriguez qualified for the Elimination Chamber, beating Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Beat Sane with the Tahana Bomb. 1, 2, 3. And I feel like I'm leaving something. That was a banger. Like usual, CM Punk's promo having to carry the show again in Roman's absence. And then Brock Lesnar, which we thought somebody was gonna come out.
What was your thoughts on that, man? That shit was crazy because now you could start speculating who's gonna be the one. You know what I mean? Are we actually gonna get there to Gunther against Brock Lesnar that way? Or it has to be that once that song dropped, then again, I love that one too, right there.
I think that's what the crowd wanted. That's what they were chanting for. But obviously, they're going to milk this until it's time. We do want Brock versus Obo or Brock versus Gunther. We will take anyone. Anything else, we do not want. Brock and Gunther or Brock and Obafemi. And then CM Punk had his promo and carrying the feud with Roman as usual because Roman's not there. But then we end the night with the phenomenal AJ Styles, who had a beautiful, beautiful promo talking about his wife, his family, his career, wanting to retire at home in Atlanta and lay down his gloves. And then, thank you, AJ, first off. Thank you, Cheeks, for that. Thank you, AJ. For here at the Marshall Mike's podcast, you cannot tell the history of TNA wrestling without AJ Styles. Can't tell the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling without AJ Styles or Bullet Club without AJ Styles, because that's just what it was. And AJ Styles is WWE. He was WWE 24/7. He was TNA 24/7. And he comes out, cuts his promo. Wasn't even a promo. He just spoke from the heart. But if you think about it, like AJ was such a prominent figure in TNA, he was basically what John Cena was to WWE. And here's another thing. You can make a Mount Rushmore for different characters that AJ Styles played, but AJ Styles has his own Mount Rushmore for TNA. And then there's everybody else. So after he was done, everybody came out, paid tribute to him, and then the Undertaker's music hits. And the Undertaker comes out, talks to AJ, makes it seem like they got unfinished business with a match. And AJ's like, what the fuck you talking about, dude? I'm done. He's like, no, I'm not wrestling. I'm done. You just...
Is this a fucking joke? Somebody tell me this is a fucking joke. Tell me, somebody. Is it
And then Taker dropped the bombshell on him. Dropped the bombshell on AJ Styles. AJ Styles is the newest inductee into the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. Well deserved for the phenomenal AJ Styles. But this is, again, did you see this coming?
Not at all. Not at all.
Me neither.
I mean, seeing The Undertaker come out, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, let's go back to the cameos. It wasn't on my bingo card that I was going to see Abyss and WWE popping out of the fucking boiler room.
with Frankie Kazarian, albeit.
Yes. No, that was respect. You know what I mean? That's how they treated AJ Styles. You know what I mean? And he went out on his own. You know what I mean? Like they say, he beat the house, and he's staying. You know, I guess he did talking shop, mentioned something about his neck, and then of course the news about he getting a new contract, as we said earlier in the show.
Yep.
He ain't going nowhere.
Well, if you thought Raw was something, let's move on to NXT, and then we'll finish it out with AEW, and just kind of wrap it up a little bit. NXT was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What was so interesting about NXT? Well, somebody got fucked up. Somebody got fucked up real bad. Let's just go ahead and get this one out the way. JC Jane versus Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka, I told you, watch your back. Zarya is not to be trusted. She had enough. Before the match even started, during the introduction, Zarya hit Sol Ruka with a spear, rearranging her guts and allowing JC Jane to basically take heed and steal a win with interference. Now, we got Zaruka has disbanded. Cheech, did you see it happening this way?
Not at all. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I mean, I give it to him. You know what I mean? Like, that is not the way I will turn on somebody. You know what's wrong with throwing somebody through a barbershop fucking window? What happened to them days? You know, no, but it was clever, man. I didn't see it. It wasn't on my bingo card, brother.
And obviously we had, different title changes. Big shout out to Keanu Carver. He pretty much packed up Shawn Legacy as expected. He hit a giant pounce and suplexed him out of his boots for the win. Elio LaFleur took the Speed Championship on Jasper Troy, which is great because
French.
And then the French and Eli Knight. He was a French luchador. Dude, it's time for Jasper Troy to make some moves, because right now I love the fact that they got the Speed Championship off of him. I don't necessarily know how the Speed Championship is supposed to elevate somebody, because it sure didn't do that for Candice LeRae. So Thea Hale beat Blake Monroe in the Speed tournament, which, again, I'm not feeling these Speed matches, but it is what it is. So you had that. Any thoughts on that match? Thea Hale beating Blake Monroe? I just don't know why bring Blake over and just, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Seeing it from behind the scenes type of deal. It's trying to humble her. You know what I mean? Yo, get your shit together. Type of didn't she get blacked out, right? When she lost the belt from against her, right? It was the same girl, right?
Yeah.
She lost, because remember, Jordan Grace, she came over here. It was the same. We still haven't seen her, I guess what we expect her to be booked like, you know what I mean? Like a monster or whatever. We haven't seen that. It didn't bother me, man. But it was kind of surprising that I actually went that route, So it's kind of I don't know what's the deal with that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's punishment for injuring Jada Parker. Don't know. And more.
But I don't give a fuck if it's a lie. You know what I mean? Don't. That's what happened.
Let me believe the lie, even if it's not
yeah.
true. Let it happen. That's what happened. Big
Hey,
show.
Hey, niggas get shot every day, B. You tough, right?
You know what I'm saying? Don't let a lie get in between a good story, brother.
For the
You muted,
76
Papi.
days. Huh. Oh, am I muted?
Oh, you good? No, you good now.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, he ended the reign at about 276 days, which I think that ties him with Oba's NXT North American Championship reign, if I'm not mistaken. But it's funny because Miles and his girlfriend have both held the same title. So Miles and Stephanie have both held the NXT Championship. And that was pretty much NXT. Raw was Raw. We're done with WWE. Any thoughts before we move on to AEW?
No, man, they're getting ready to Vengeance, right? Vengeance is coming out.
Yeah, tell me what you got for Vengeance. Anything special for Vengeance that we should know about?
Well, no, like I guess the only match that I've seen that they announced was
What was it?
Tony Starks, fucking Ricky Starks and
Joe Hendry.
Oh, Ricky Saints and Joe Henry. You know what I mean? That's
He'll always be Ricky Starks to me.
Yeah.
Was it this one?
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. And yeah, so far that was it. You know what I mean? Trying to think of something else. I don't know. We mentioned about, since we talked about NXT before we leave, they're not gonna have the stand and deliver, right? That's what they usually be on WrestleMania weekend, but now they moved.
Yeah, they're gonna have it in St. Louis.
Mm.
Yeah, I think they're having it in St. Louis. Yeah, right here. Yep. It's hosting Stand and Deliver on Saturday, April 4th, which is interesting because they usually have it the week of WrestleMania, but I think they're trying to get away from that, which is giving NXT its own identity, but they're kind of breaking and bucking tradition by doing that. What do you think led to this decision?
Vegas, because remind you, the show will have to start at 9-10 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? In order to be ahead of time for WrestleMania, because it's 2 days now. So I think they probably, it wasn't going to work for them. And also, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump. No, I don't see nothing wrong with, like you said, like having NXT to have more of their identity. Not piggyback riding like all the other promotions. No, I'm kidding. No, but might be something along those lines.
Cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to AEW. Jon Moxley started it off. He had got a pinfall victory over El Clon. Babes of Wrath came out. They cut some promos. Mega Bad, FTR. Young Bucks were doing their thing later that night. Nigel McGuinness, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone were on commentary. Swerve Strickland. I really don't have much to say about Swerve Strickland on a level, but him as the most dangerous man and vowing to come after the title. Heel Swerve is pretty much his speed. So it was short, to the point, and he got up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I can tolerate Swerve when it's like that. What were your thoughts?
I fuck with Kill Shot. You know what I mean? Back in the day, son. No, it was a matter of time, you know what I mean? And it's good to have some type of presentation. Unfortunately, it have to be that way. But seeing Prince Nana too embracing that, I think it's pretty dope. So I just want to see where they're gonna go from here, because I never really seen let's say a championship scene with so many players that could be contenders for the belt. Like in WWE, you have like at least 2 or 3. Over here, there's like 5 or 6. You know what I mean? That could be a potential opponent for MJF. So it's pretty good that at least they have something for him. You know what I mean?
Right. I was a big fan of the Gabe Kidd and Orange Cassidy match. I think there's a lot. I see a lot of X-Pac in Gabe Kidd, and I get from his facial motions, the way he moves in the ring. The young bull is just like, he's really good. I like the fact that it's probably one of Cassidy's better matches in a long time. Realistically though, what do you think about Cassidy going forward, especially after this match with Gabe Kidd?
I don't know, but he doesn't do it for me, to be honest. At first, that gimmick, it was kind of fun, but now it's like
It's run its course.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And it's just, where do you go? It's the same thing with him and Darby Allin, to be honest. I don't think you could put him fucking fighting in top of Mount Everest for the title when he wins it still, no matter what. Motherfucker, bro, like, you can't put a belt on somebody and get kicked out of fucking Uber.
Yeah, speaking of which, you want to talk about
Yeah, that shit was wild. I was actually doing Uber and JT calls me and he sends the video. And I'm like, I pulled over. I made sure I wasn't driving. And I see that video, man. That shit was pretty crazy. We didn't have an MP4, so we wouldn't be able to put it up. And it's kind of funny, man. I don't know if it's real or not. Because nowadays you got to question everything. You know what I mean? But my man literally told him to get the fuck out of his car. Your wrestling sucks. No, he didn't tell him that, but yeah.
I was about to say he told him his wrestling sucks.
Okay, how you know?
I know them very well.
How do you know? Live in the 5th floor.
Speaking of which, Kevin Knight versus Mansoor, or however he wants to say it. Good showcase for the Jet. I wasn't really feeling this match all like that. I mean, it was cool, but like, I want to see him do a little bit more with Kevin Knight going forward. But I'm not too big on this match. I feel like this could have been done better. But again, everybody has off nights. I just wasn't feeling it. What do you think about this match?
That one I didn't really see it. I was actually away from the TV. But what you thought about that match?
It was okay. It was at best like is the average AEW match. Had some moments, but again, I wasn't really feeling it all like that. It didn't hold my attention.
But good enough to at least have that type of talent.
Yeah, I would never disrespect the wrestlers in the ring because they put their bodies on the line for our entertainment. But it just didn't move me like normal. I think that's the best way to put it. But what I was interested in, though, is this confrontation between MJF and Hangman Adam Page, which I think they had a coin toss to decide what kind of match it was going to be like. I think one of the matches was like a one-sided no disqualification match, and then a Texas death match.
No, and you know what's crazy? I think I don't think we have it here, but somebody from AEW social media or doing the graphics.
Megan Thee Stallion.
There you go. So we having an old Texas death match. Yeah, they tagged the wrong stallion, son.
Yeah, we gonna see Megan Thee Stallion versus Megan Bayne at AEW before GTA 6 drops.
And her song is used for SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
wow.
they could bring
That's
her over
crazy.
they could bring her over for AEW. But overall, MJF did not get out of the Texas death match. So it's going to be set for AEW Revolution, which is March 15th, I believe. So the salt of the earth. What?
I was like, the stipulation.
Texas death match?
No, the fact that he pulled out a Cody. What the? I don't like that. Well, what the fuck? So you mean to say like you lose? That's it? You're just gonna be mid card? It's like what the fuck?
Like how many times are we gonna do this? It is what it is. I personally don't.
You mute, puppy.
My bad. So we had Willow and Harley beat Bane and Ford by DQ, but they retained the tag team championships. Maybe Lena Cross is teaming up with Megan Bane in the future. Really,
Shorty got hurt, right? One of
yeah. Oh, Join got hurt, and that was cool. If that was like some kind of angle, but she legitimately looked like she fucked herself up. Brody King obviously got the dub. No surprise there. Was actually a better match than the Kevin Knight match. And then Mile High Madness against the Bucks. Mile High Madness, FTR, and the Demand against the Bucks. Jack Perry and the Rascals.
Yeah.
And this one was this was pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. Anytime I see Stokely Hathaway get involved, I'm really rocking with it. The double Spanish fly off the barricade. Two crowds saying that there were two more tables and shit like that. The Rascals pretty much. I really like Zachary Wentz. Rascals got their shit in. Ricochet was superb as always. The Bucks annoying as hell, but obviously Rascals, the Bucks, and Jack Perry pulled off the win. What did you think about this match?
That was the let's get everybody booked, brother. I mean, AEW do that a lot. But having the Young Bucks back to their old persona or whatever, people that like them, I never did, but I thought they were cool. Don't get me wrong. But hey, it is what it was. I don't know if this developed or push forward any new storylines. Well, they probably did. FTR, fuck the revival. So that I think that might be it. Didn't they bring his brother, one of the brothers, Malachi, one of the Young Bucks brother? His father was there.
Something like that. I remember when they super kicked their dad in PWG. Every time I see it.
See, that was the days.
I remember when they super kicked that 8-year-old for his birthday?
Yeah. It was who else gonna get, super kick, you know what I mean? And super kick party, that shit. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. It's a little nostalgic to some extent, But seeing Ricochet in the ring, especially like main event, it was like At least, he gave him the respect that he deserved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think what we got coming up, AEW Revolution is going to be on the 15th of March. As I think they got only like 3 matches so far that I know of. So they got MJF and Adam Page, FTR against the Bucks for the World Tag Team Championships, and Moxley versus Takeshita for the AEW Continental Championship. I like how it's called the Continental and not the Intercontinental. I'm sorry, just shit like that is just,
bro. Like I think of a continental breakfast.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I think you mean the Continental Breakfast or the Continental from John Wick. So you were watching TNA before we went live. Did anything notable happen from TNA tonight?
No, man. I kind of was in and out. I did see that Mike Santana was teaming up with Slater against the brothers Nemeth. I don't know what happened in that match. I saw Mance Warner against AJ Francis. Didn't really watch that, but it was kind of cool because watching it through the TNA Plus, they were giving the proper respect, like Black History moments, and you saw, Consecrates Creed, they saw when one of the girls got signed, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool that they still kind of in touch with, what is really matters out here, especially when you have a lot of talent that have representation.
Understood. Well, I think we covered everything for the most part. Is there anything we left out?
Well. Not that I could think of. Something about that is relatable. Let's talk about this, man. Supposedly we had
absolutely the best for last.
Chris Cross, Karrion Kross, and next thing you know, he gets a call from Paul Heyman. So what's your thoughts on that?
Here's my thoughts. If you want to save the Vision as a faction, you need to reveal that Cross was the guy in the hood.
Whoa. Hold on. Wait. Say that again.
If you want to save the Vision, this storyline, or this faction, Cross needs to be the guy that was in the hood. Or he needs to be the guy that was in the hood that took out Bronson Reed at the Rumble. Because you could build off of that story that Cross was unceremoniously dumped, but Cross could be a Paul Heyman guy.
Oh, dang.
And then you go from there, because everything Cross touches dies, right? That's what Scarlett said. And then you have, I know. Go ahead. I'm sorry, because it could go either way.
Okay, how you know? I know them very well.
But I'm saying because they actually using that gimmick with Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Because Randy Orton, he beat him, right? Aleister Black faced Randy Orton, and he beat
Orton.
Yeah, and Orton, is gonna be the one that perhaps be facing Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean? The one that actually pulled him out. You know what I mean? That's the storyline right there. Unless I don't think that WWE is gonna go and put him in the chamber and face Drew McIntyre. I'm not opposed, but that bomb that you drop, if Karrion Kross, because bro, I could see it could be something like, we down people, we down men, like we gotta get people talking. It's provocative. It's to get people going.
In his hometown.
Oh man, it's just Swiss Symphony. I mean, and they do him right, but I know MLW, they film their shows. You know what I mean? So that's a possibility that he already lost the belt or planning to or whatever. But man, if you get that call, why not? You know, especially in that Paul Heyman. Come on, brother. I mean,
you know why WWE won't do it? Because it makes too much sense. And they're not in the business of logic.
Especially ask P.S. Hayes.
Yeah. Let's not even. I'm not even gonna get started on that because we trying to get in good with WWE
and get out.
But other than that, I think we touched on everything. Pause. I don't know. Do you think it's about that time?
El Señor. Vámonos.
Sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Hey, look! Silence! I can't take this shit no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you guys for coming out tonight and spending time with us. Everything obviously works out the way that it's supposed to. Yes, I'm playing the gospel music in the background, but I am not going to be doing what JT does. But we do want to send our thoughts and prayers and condolences out to his family. Obviously, JT, you need anything, you know, all of us are here, not just me and Cheech, but all of us at CCN, Humble Roses, everything. Want to leave you with this. Make sure that you guys check out Elimination Chamber this Saturday. We'll be doing a recap for Elimination Chamber. Me, Cheech, JT, JoJo will all be there. The full crew will be there. Also, make sure that you follow Cheech on all of his platforms on social media, all of mine, listed below. What you can also do is make sure you subscribe to the March with Mike's YouTube channel if you're not already subscribed to it. I'm not putting the QR code up because you should probably be on your phone looking at this.
Bash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe button. Make sure you follow us on all platforms. We do got a bunch of good stuff in the works. Cheech, is there anything else you want to leave us off with?
No, man, just stay blessed, you know, and let's go. Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the March with Mike's podcast. I am your host, Dallas Cash. Also the host, El Cheech, El Jefe. Ladies and gentlemen, send your love out to JT. And on that note, we're out.
See you next month.